Hello guys and gals. I'm here today with another part of my little miniature series on basic woodworking and for sub box making, speaker box making. Sometimes you're gonna need to know how to round off an edge, bevel an edge, and if you don't have a router, if you don't have a $500 router, you're not going to be able to do it. Now you might get lucky and find one relatively cheap on Craigslist or something. But anyways, if you don't have a router, this is another way you can actually round off your edges and they'll be pretty good. Like when you're doing internal ports, or if you just want to round the edges to the outside of your box so they're not sharp edges. This is a way to round them off without having a router. Check it out. Now this isn't a very good piece of wood, but it's just a demo piece, so it's not that big of a deal. What you're gonna need is basically a sander of any kind. An orbital sander would work better for this particular thing. And you'll need about, you can use 40, 60, I'm using 80 grit. 80 grit is pretty rough and it'll work pretty fast. So I'll show you what you'll need to do, and what you'll basically do is you'll start by taking the edges. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna get started with this so I can show you how this is done. You'll want to I'm just gonna put my knee on it because it doesn't matter, but you'll want to kind of brace it down. What you can actually do is to smooth it out even more is take you some, this is actually 120 grit. It's just 120 grit. Use the same sander and some 120 grit. And you can finish it off, smooth it out pretty good. If you want it smoother, which you'll want it as smooth as possible when it comes to doing your speaker boxes. Like I say, it's not a very good piece of wood, but it is just a demo. It is showing you how to do it. That's pretty much all you do. It does take a few minutes. Honestly, I would suggest that piece of 80 grit I have is kind of old and it's kind of used up, and it would have been faster than that. But if you want it to be much faster, you can use 40 or 60 grit if you choose to. But as you can see, that done its job. It beveled that edge. Whoops, give you the good side. You can see that it beveled it quite well, and it is relatively smooth until you get to the junky part of the wood. But anyways, that there is pretty much how you do it. That's basics without a router. You can make it a better. This was just a quick one just to show you how to round it off, but you'll want to bevel your edge for the inside port, the inside wall of your port. You'll want it beveled off so it gives it a nice smooth flow around that corner. Anyways, the important thing to remember is get you some 40, 60, or 80 grit. Actually, if that would have been a new piece of 80 grit, it would have been much quicker, but that'll also help you keep it a lot smoother if you use the 80 grit. But you can still use your 120 or 220 if you want it that smooth, or even farther if you decide to. But whenever you're talking about ports on your box, you're going to need beveled edges. Excuse me. So anyways, that is basics, and you could actually apply that to building about anything, a table, a desk, whatever. If you don't have a $500 router, then you can just use your sander and get a pretty nice even edge. if you're halfway decent with a sander, you can get a really nice, smooth, even edge. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. Feel free to subscribe and keep track of this little mini series. There'll be a few more tips along the way too. I actually have a couple others that are coming up. Anyways, feel free to subscribe, and thank you guys for watching. Have a spectacular day or night, whichever one it is for you. Peace out.